Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. Welcome to Make and Take Tuesday. This is a little series on my YouTube channel where I introduce us to a beautiful new paper collection, tool, die, design, technique, and we make something beautiful together. I'm finishing up all my Christmas projects. I'm playing Mrs. Santa Claus this week and getting some goodies ready for family and friends. So I have just a few Christmas things to finish to put under the tree and then I'm done. So I pulled out Ciao Bella's Sparkling Christmas. This is one of their new Christmas collections this year, and this is a stunner. If you love traditional Christmas, if you love green and gold, if you love elegant, this paper collection is just out of this world. This is the A4 cut apart. I love the golden reindeer. I love the white poinsettia. It's just a really, I don't know, it's traditional, but a little bit fresh too. Lots of tags and cutouts, beautiful patterns on the back. I always love how many fussy cuts Ciao Bella provides with their paper collections. Then I also got the paper pad. These lanterns are just stunning. It has a really beautiful, I'll just show you. Here's this Christmas tree, really cool, like a bead strand. Again, more of these glorious poinsettias, really beautiful gold netting, sweet home scene, green and gold with just a little distressing. I love how the brick kind of peeks through. Postcards, a lot you could do with that. This distressed lace, more of these gorgeous poinsettias. This gold filigree is beautiful. Tags, another beautiful pattern. Poinsettias and pine cones with this sort of lace pattern on the back. Another one of these beautiful lanterns with this speckled on the back, and a cut apart sheet with snowflakes on the back. So now I think we're into the patterns pad, and oh no, this is still the collection. Here's the patterns. And I like to get these because if you're making a mini album or anything that requires a lot of different pages, having these patterns really helps. Plus, there's lots of really good fussy cut that you can do in here. Look at this wreath. Wow. The ornaments, the netting, snowflakes, lanterns, another cut apart sheet, this pretty border piece, wreaths, and then the twinkle lights. So that is the paper collection.
All the fields we go, laughing all the way. That's all Bob to tell me.
So what are we making? How about an exploding box? I have decorated the top with some beautiful Rene Bouquet's poinsettias and snowflakes, some star anise and other little goodies from my stash. This is gold glitz ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon. On the front, we've got this beautiful lantern image with a little dangle charm of a key and some jingle bells. Each side has a beautiful scene. I didn't even decorate these. They're so pretty. I left them just the way they are. So on the inside, let's take off the lid. Always so fun to do that. Inside, in the middle, I have a really nice tea party in a box. It says 2 each of Biscoff cookies and peppermint sticks, some hard candies, 2 tea bags, 2 honey crystal packets, and 2 Ghirardelli chocolates. So it's a very nice little package there. And then on each side, I'll turn this so you can see, I've created a little element. This is a waterfall. So you can add some of your photos from your favorite Christmas. This is a little flip page, so room for a photo here. Then up here is another little waterfall. These papers are gorgeous. Even if you don't add anything to them for photos, they're really beautiful. And then another little flip page here. So very fun, Very, very fun. We'll go ahead and get started. This was kind of an experimental design because I wanted to make the box bigger than what they usually are. They're usually only like 4 by 4, and this one is more like 4 by 6. So I had to try some new techniques to make the box be the size I wanted. I learned some things. It went well, but it will go better the next time I do one of these, and I think I will do another one because they're so fun. But if you're ready to get started, hang around. The tutorial starts next.
What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle along.
And I pulled out my Fresh Asparagus cardstock from Gina K, and then some gold mirror foil paper. And what I've done is I've cut out the 4 images from the A4 pad, and I've matted them on the Fresh Asparagus, and then I matted them on gold foil. But as you can see, I've got these long flaps at the bottom. Well, what I did was I scored these, and these measure out at just about 4 inches by about 5 7/8. So we're going to build our exploding box this way instead of doing all the scoring and stuff. I think this will work. It works in my head. Sometimes the things that work in my head don't work in real life. So we're about to find out together here. I made a little line where I measured these bottom flaps so that I can line these up using my score tape. So now we have 2 sides. All right. I'm just going to recrease this gold foil. Then on the other 2, I've put score tape. These don't have to be as long because they just are going to slip underneath. I'm going to bring this in and line everything up. And there's 1. I also cut a piece of gold foil to line the bottom. And I went 4 by 4. I think I went exactly 4 by 4. Yes. So I'm going to glue this in before I put that last bottom piece on because this is just going to be so much easier. So you can see this is just a different way to construct an explosion box. I think it's a little easier. And it allows you, like if you wanted your sides to be 5 by 7, you would just cut your sides to 5 by 7 and then leave the flaps on the bottom, so that everything can be, folded up. And I'll clean that glue smudge off of there with a damp paper towel in a minute. All right. So I'm just going to line this up. And there we go. There are the 4 sides. Pretty cool, huh? That was not hard. And look how beautiful this is. You really don't even need to add any decoration to this. It's just so beautiful. This is going to be a quick and easy project.
Fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle along.
All right, friends, we're going to go ahead and make this lid. And to do this, you want to cut an 8 1/8 by 8 1/8 inch piece of your fern cardstock and score at 1 and 2 on all 4 sides. So you're going to score 1 and 2 and turn it, 1 and 2, turn, 1 and 2, turn, until you've got something that looks like this. Then what you're going to do, before you fold and score, you're going to come in with your scissors and you're going to cut the outer rectangle off on each side. Then you're going to come in and you're going to cut on this inside score line straight up to the horizontal line, and then come in and cut a little triangular piece out on each of the little flaps. Okay, so now it looks like this. Now you can go ahead and crease those lines. It's just a whole lot easier to cut before you do the creasing. Now what we're going to do is place our adhesive, fold your tab in and put your adhesive on your tab. And then attach the tab to the opposite side, or the adjacent. It's not really opposite, it's adjacent. And you want to line this up so it's nice and square. This last little tab, it's easier, well, it's hard for me to show you this, but I've got it here, and I'm going to adhere it here. All right. Okay, so now we're going to put our adhesive on these flaps and just fold them down in. Oops, that one's not quite in there the right way. And then come in and just really press those into place, especially in the corners. All right, now let's bring in our box and hope that we fit. This is always the big moment here. Look at that. Nice snug lid and this really cool looking box. So I'm just going to cut panels of my gold foil to go over the sides and on the top. I know I have a little glare going on, but hopefully you can see this. What I did was I cut 2 3/4 of an inch by 8.5 inch strips of our gold. And I folded it around, centered it and folded it around on each side. And then they met somewhere in the middle. And then to cover that, I cut two 5/8 inch by 12-inch pieces of our designer paper and did the same thing. So there's no seam on the top. You can't see the seam, but like if you look right there on the gold, there's a little seam and there's a little seam, but the patterned paper covers it up. And then up here, I went 3 3/4 square of the gold and 3.5 square of the patterned paper. Really pretty. I'm really liking the way this is turning out. So on the inside, I've lined, whoops, let me move this. I painted these edges with tarnished brass distress stain. I didn't want the white showing through. And then I cut 4-inch by 5 3/4 inch pieces of the fern to line each of the sides of the box. I want to go ahead and show you how to do the little insert to hold our tea party. And this is I know this is clear, so it's hard to see, but 4 inches by 11 inches of clear acetate. And I scored this at 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. And then I turned it and I scored it at, hold on, I can't even see what I scored it at, 3 1/4. So this is going to become our little box that holds the tea party. And I'm just going to hope that you can see what I'm doing. But everywhere that we have a scored line, I hope that I can see what I'm doing. Everywhere that we have a scored line, I'm going in and I'm cutting a little triangle out. Oops. I think that's paint. All right, now I should be able to fold. There we go. So you have to really score because it's acetate and it's resistant, but you just have to use your muscles. And then I'm folding these bottom flaps in. So what happens is this comes around like this. And we're going to put score tape on our little flaps. And then this will sit in the middle of our box. I don't want to put this in there yet because it's easier to work with, but there you go. So you can go ahead and get that ready. I'm going to set that aside. So I put a 3 3/4 inch square of our music note paper in the center because that was a lot of gold foil. And then I cut 2 6-inch by 5.5 inch pieces of our ornament and scored I want to say it's a 2 1/4 inch flap. Yes. And these are going to go on opposite sides. One at the, I don't know what direction you're seeing this, but I'm going to call it north. and one at the south. And I did this one the reverse of the other just to make it interesting. And then these are going to be waterfalls. So I've also cut a 3 3/4 by 5.5 inch piece of the back side of this paper that has the stockings. And we're going to put one on the east. And one on the west. Of course, you don't have to do, I mean, you can just put pictures in, keep it very simple. You could add photos. So these are 3 3/4 by 6, and I've scored a 1/2 inch flap along the top. I'm just going to turn this so I can line up properly. I'm getting glare off of that gold foil paper. It's making it very challenging to line these up. Okay, so open this, and then I've got another one here. And I'm kind of overlapping, which I don't normally do, but otherwise we're gonna get that straight. We're not straight. I feel like I need to put my sunglasses on with that gold foil, y'all. That's pretty funny. So that one's on the west. And this one's going to go on the east. I should have done that, do the opposite of what I did. This fold should be up here, because see, these are going to do like that, but it's too late to change it now. So you do yours with the fold on the outside. I'm hurrying to get this done, and that never pays off. All right. So there's a little flat, and you can decorate those however you want. So I've put my score tape along this little flap that's going to go to the inside of our box. I'm just going to line this up like that. And then I also have my sides that my bottoms that I've added score tape to. Do you see that? And what I'm going to do this is tricky. I glued a 2.5 by 2.5 inch square of the same paper to the bottom. You can see I need to trim right here. So that's just going to help this stay square, and it's also going to make it a whole lot easier to glue in. All right, because now I can actually like see where I'm placing it. And I have a half a jig to move it if I need to. All right, that looks pretty good. I think we're pretty level there. So now see, these will fold up. And our lid will go on. Look how pretty. It's so pretty. And the nice thing about this is you can change the sides. So if you get tired of looking at one side, you can turn it and look at another. We need to decorate the top. So here we are with the inside all finished up. I covered the face of the box with images from the paper collection. And let me see what else. I just added some little elements here. So this is going to close up like this. And in comes our lid. And I want the lantern to be the front. So I'm just going to pop this lid on. There we go. And now I've gone into my stash and I found some goodies that I want to add to the cover. So I'm going to start with one of these Rene Bouquets poinsettias right here. And I kind of want it sort of standing up like that. So we have some height. And I'm going to take one of these Rene Bouquets snowflakes and add it right here. Then I have another poinsettia to snug up underneath it like this, a little bit higher and behind. I have a leaf that I painted with our tarnished brass distress paint that I'm going to push in under here. Before this gets set up, I created a little dangle charm with a key and some jingle bells, and I want to glue this in underneath like that. So good that I remembered that.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Day or two ago, thought I'd take a ride. Stood Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank. Misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank, and we got upset. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. In
All right, guys, I think that finishes this up. Wow, it turned out so pretty. I love this vintage key on the front. Each side has a beautiful scene. You can kind of swing the jingle bells around to at least a couple of the sides. But what a pretty paper collection, and what a fun project to give as a gift. All these beautiful flowers and things on the top. This is Star Anise that I painted with a little bit of our tarnished brass and some old petaloo beaded berries. Same for the stars, and then Rene Bouquet's snowflakes. I might tuck one more right in here. But that is it for me, Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. I'll put the basic measurements in the description box below this video, so make it easy for you to find them. Please give this project a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you along for the journey. One more Christmas project down. We're moving forward. Almost done, almost done. All right, thanks for joining me. Go get your craft done. Bye.